Sorry, it's law that I sit here listening to this song for 10 minutes every time I start the game. Now that that's over, let's talk about Like a Dragon, a pirate yakuza in Hawaii. Wait, I said that wrong. Seriously, I wish they went with a shorter title, like maybe 2 words less. The pacing of Pirate Yakuza I felt for the first hurdle was very SMT-like. And when I say that, I mean you put one main story point behind God knows how many hours of grind along the way. And yes, I know the sub-stories are always optional. They're in all the Yakuza games. Sub-stories never felt like they were the only thing with a consistent plot line. But even in Kiwami, where unlocking some sub-stories required a PhD, the pacing of Like a Dragon games usually have me so gripped I have to force myself into the sub-stories the game doesn't walk me into on their own. There are only 5 chapters in Pirate Yakuza, which made me think it was going to be way less than the average Yakuza game. But truthfully, it was 5 big chapters in like a typical Yakuza size game. But for the first time, I went off grid for a while. More than a while. There was always so much between me and making progress to the next chapter that I actually need a break from the time I put in just so I could have some dialogue about something ongoing. I didn't play Yakuza 0, so I had no legacy skill using Majima. All his Mad Dog moves were new to me beyond a few Kiryu had in Kiwami. Love the aerial combos. Majima actually has 2 different gauges, one for the heat moves and one for his doppelganger and moves he uses for the summons. Sea Dog style I felt was really pushed on me. For most of the boss fights, you're starting off as Sea Dog style, which does make sense because this is called Pirate Yakuza, so you should be a pirate for most of the time. But like I said, I had no legacy skill using Majima since I never played Zero. Like, I was more adept at using Mad Dog style anyway, since it was better for one-on-one fights. I still do love Sea Dog style though, cause you get a gun and a grappling hook. Also, it has one of the best heat actions in the game. The ship battles were my least favorite part, but that's only because I enjoyed what follows up the ship battles a lot more. Every sequence into the boarding battles is its own screensaver. Want all your favorites in the shot? The positions in this are static, so once you figure out what position lines up with the scene, you can go buck wild with it. However, in the victory sequence, Jason and Masaru are always in the same place, so if you want to live out the pirate Amazon fantasy, you're gonna have to share it with them too. But that's just the ship battles. In the all-out arena fights, they don't have to be there if you don't want them to be. The arena battles were my favorite part of the new gameplay by far. I'm sad it didn't play a bigger role in the story missions or even in the sub-stories that they were introduced in. Still kept playing them for over 20 hours though. The story of Like a Dragon games comes in many varieties. Dramatic, high action, depressing, jubilating, or outright asinine. I've never played Yakuza 4, but I know the rubber bullet meme. RGG does many things right and wrong with their stories, but no matter what the people say, they will always, and I mean always, do it their way. That being said, I never want to be in one of their writing staff meetings, cause I don't need to know how this came about. It didn't feel like the typical Yakuza pacing at all. It felt like SMT pacing until I got to the end. And only when I got to the end did everything make sense for what it was narratively, cringe and all. Majima as a character hasn't been pushed for a solo gig in a while. Honestly, I think you get more of what Majima's character is in Ishin, and that's not even him. But it's him. But it's also not him. More hardcore fans will probably just tell you to go play Zero, which honestly, even as a casual fan, I would recommend if you really want to know what Majima is all about. The plot for the game technically got spoiled from that 4chan post, but no one took it seriously, and now here we are. We didn't get everything that was in that 4chan post anyway. Bottom line, is it worth the full price? I'd wait till the price drops to at least 50. I feel like this would have been the same game back when new games were still like $50 in the early 2000s. That being said, if you're a Yakuza fan and if you're a bigger Majima fan, this game is worth your time. Just try to lower your expectations narratively. RGG has never failed me gameplay wise, but these guys are a whirlwind on the narratives. Thanks for watching, and this has been my 2 cents on Pirate Like a Yakuza. Got the name wrong again, didn't I? They should have just called it Pirate Gaiden.